Okay, this is another question. I'm sure that the future excites you, right? Is it fun,
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but I'm scared to the future. Most people worry about it, actually. So
Yeah, that's what's interesting. When I was a kid growing up, I would see all of the covers of popular science magazines and things coming out of Bell Labs. I was excited about it. I couldn't wait for the future to happen. Now there's lots of doom and gloom predictions about the future, and so the average person wakes up and is not feeling good about what might come 10 years from now. I view part of my job as to make the future fun again. So how do we make it fun again?
okay.
And I think that's an interesting challenge. So, because I don't think the future is doom and gloom. We're going to have lots of problems. We're going to have lots of challenges ahead. But every one of these problems and challenges creates opportunity.
So you mean I can unlock the door of opportunities or things like that?
Yeah, I think by understanding the future, you can understand exactly where the challenges are going to be, and that gives you a clearer understanding of where the real big opportunities lie.
자, 다음 분 질문해 주시겠어요?
네, 이 세계는요, 창의적인 세계인데요. 그 상상력, 창의력하고 스마트 기술 결합하면 못하는 일이 없는 것 같은데요. 그럼 그 미래 세계를 적용하기 위해서 그 상상력, 창의력 같은 것을 도대체 어떻게 키워야 되는지를 좀 궁금해요. 네.
Ever since I was a little kid, I was being trained how to think two-dimensionally. I was looking at books, I was looking at whiteboards and chalkboards, everything was two-dimensional. Even our screens on our computers and our television, it's all two-dimensional thinking. Now, virtual reality is opening up this three-dimensional world for us, and we're having a hard time grasping what the full potential is of it, because we've been framed around, everything that we're thinking about has been framed around two-dimensional thinking. So how do we make things rise up off of the page? How do we make things come out of the walls? Just this question about what will watching television look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Will television still be this idea of watching this appliance in the front of the room? Will it be digital wallpaper? Will it be a projected image? Will it be three-dimensional? Will the characters actually come out of the wall and interact with us? These are things that we don't know how quickly that'll all happen, but I'm excited about having television move to the next level. I think it could be very entertaining. Yeah.
Great, I'm expecting as well. So this is another question. Just imagine if you're a college freshman, what would you study?
I get asked that question a lot, and it's actually very difficult. We're still going to have lots of demand for engineers. We're going to have lots of demand for computer programmers right now, because every new technology that's coming out, everything I talked about, whether it's the Internet of Things, 3D printing, driverless cars, flying drones, all of these require programmers in the background. And so the programming profession is requiring more and more talent. And so the quicker people can move into that area, there's lots of opportunity. There's going to be lots of room for designers. The whole area of design is taking on a whole new life, if you will, because products that don't have that extra pizzazz to them, that don't really stand out, they're not going to do well. Just the understanding kind of how we're transitioning, this idea of a transitionist moving from one stage to the next is going to be in huge demand. Ethicists, the people that can understand the ethical dilemmas that we're running into, they're going to be in huge demand as well. So I think there's lots of opportunity. I think if you're just a general studies person, I think that you're probably going to have a hard time getting a job then. So you have to specialize, and we've kind of concluded that by 2030 that the average person in 2030 better plan to reboot their career 6 times.
So you've just mentioned over 2 billion job opportunities will be disappear by 2030. So
Yeah, that's roughly half the jobs on the planet.
It means lots of specific jobs will be emerging as well. So I'm just wondering what kind of job will be disappear or what kind of job will be emerging? So
Well, I mean, think about a driver position. I mean, if we have driverless cars, then we won't have as need for as many drivers.
do you have any principle or trend to predict that?
Yeah, just the agriculture world, as an example, has had steering assist on tractors since 2009, and now they're right on the verge of going into driverless tractors in the agriculture world. The number of taxi drivers is declining substantially just because of Uber out there. Hotels are having a harder time because of Airbnb. There's lots of companies like that, and what they're doing is they're eliminating middle management, if you will, and so that's where software is actually replacing the human.
How about broadcaster? It will be disappear.
Yeah, we might have avatar broadcasters. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. 자, 다음 질문 받겠습니다.
예, 다른 게 아니라 그렇게 많은 일자리들이 사라져 갈 거라고 말씀을 하셨는데요. 그렇다면 저처럼 창업을 하는 거에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하시는지 좀 듣고 싶습니다.
I think there's huge opportunities for people who want to start their own business. And I think we need more experimentation. When I talk about creativity getting pushed out to the edges, that gets pushed out to the entrepreneurs as well. And I think that we're enabling entrepreneurs in some real interesting ways. We can actually have one-person businesses now that manage a huge empire, if you will, and they don't have any employees themselves. They do work with other companies and contractors, and they can manage lots of things. So there's huge amounts of ingenuity that's coming out. Now, as a lot of what gets talked about in the venture capital world are the businesses that are rapidly scalable, the ones that can grow 1,000-fold in the next couple of years. And those tend to be few and far between. The ones that don't get talked about much are the businesses that will grow much slower, ones that require some other types of skills. And in the US, we refer to these as kind of mom and pop businesses, the ones that are more of a lifestyle business. And those are the ones I think that have much greater opportunity than the ones that are going to grow in an explosive manner. So I think you're spot on. Starting your own business there, I would encourage the country of Korea to actually develop more of an entrepreneurial culture. I think it'll serve you well.
Okay, thank you. Actually, there are so many job seekers in Korea, even they want to start up as well. How would you advise them to track right type of job for themselves?
We're moving into much more of a freelance economy, and so it's easy to take on freelance jobs here and there, and so it's easy to experiment with things and to test things out. But the freelancer lifestyle is not bad because there's a lot of variety to it. Some of the projections are by 2020 that 40% of all the jobs will be freelance jobs, but that may go the other way too, depending on how things evolve. But I think that experimentation is going to serve everybody well.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up the Q&A session. Let me ask a final question. How would you advise us to build the future in our personal own life? Can you encourage us? Actually, sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's scary.
Yeah, we're all betting on our future self. We're all assuming that our future self is going to be worth more than our present self. So how would you invest in yourself to be that person that you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? So if you could advise the person you were 5 years ago what they should do, I mean, think about that. What would I tell myself 5 years ago? What advice would I give to myself? And so what is your future self going to advise you to do today? I mean, it kind of creates an interesting shift in perspective. And so I think if we go through that, that's kind of this interpersonal, kind of introspective look at who we are and who we want to become. All right.
And see you next time.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
오늘 토마스 프레이의 이야기를 들으면서 공상과학이 단순히 소설이나 영화 속의 이야기가 아니라는 생각이 들었습니다. 하지만 중요한 건 현재를 명확히 진단하고 또 현재의 삶을 충실히 살아갈 때 우리가 안전한 미래를 맞이할 수 있다는 거겠죠. 가장 중요한 것은 바로 지금 이 순간입니다. 오늘 미래를 만나다 다음 시간에도 토마스 프레이와 함께 대한민국의 미래를 전망해 보겠습니다. 함께해 주신 여러분 감사합니다.